What is the L.I.G.H.T framework and why did I specifically build it this way? Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the co-founder of Kingdom Impact Lab along with my incredible wife Tattoo, and we're on a mission to activate individuals and businesses internationally with the potential to have significant influence in their lives and their marketing through their business by applying the L.I.G.H.T framework. Our eternal vision and what we ultimately want to move towards would be to equip others to live L.I.G.H.T daily so they can bless, influence and positively impact as many people as possible across their lives, family, businesses, finances and their communities, and multiply their impact and influence via the ripple effect. But the cornerstone of all of this is L.I.G.H.T, and preliminarily, you know what I'm trying to say, the L.I.G.H.T, we're going to call it the L.I.G.H.T framework for meaningful growth. This video is going to talk a little bit about what L.I.G.H.T actually stands for, why I built it this way, how to apply it. So L.I.G.H.T simply means that you proactively choose to live your life and make decisions daily out of love, integrity, generosity and gratitude, humble service and transformative excellence and efficiency. You put L.I.G.H.T as your North Star, as your guiding principle, and all your decisions are based off living L.I.G.H.T. Compare that to what most people do, which is they react to the spirit of the transactional world. They react to the spirit of the business world and the marketplace, which is intrinsically transaction. And what that means is pretty much everything that happens in business, the marketplace, and all of these, every interaction is prioritizing money over everything else. And what happens when you prioritize money is money becomes your North Star. This has the trickle-down effect where every decision that you make is subconsciously prioritizing making money or growth or this and that, where you're effectively removing the humanness from the interactions. I've lived that myself as a copywriter before and in my former marketing agency, which ultimately failed, where I tried to prioritize making money above everything else. Didn't work. It led to disillusionment because there was a misalignment between who I was as a person and what I was actually doing. Led to burnout, stress, all kinds of problems with my life, becoming more and more miserable by the day, making the lives of those around me more miserable, no meaning and purpose in my life, which is where I basically discovered the L.I.G.H.T framework. And the way that it is built this way is because if you don't proactively apply L.I.G.H.T in the smallest unit of time possible, you will be subconsciously influenced by what's happening around you, especially in the transactional world. And if you're unaware of it, it's going to guide your behaviours and lead you down a path which ultimately may not be the best for you or the people that you work with. The key is to apply daily L.I.G.H.T for meaningful growth in all the actions in your business, which would be down from having a business meeting with someone, down to content marketing that you might do, or a social media post, or anything else. And you just use L.I.G.H.T as the guiding principle. And it basically means that how can you act out of love in this situation? How can you have a positive influence on the other person? And that is essentially what L.I.G.H.T stands for. I won't go into detail about all of the specifics here, but I'll just quickly give an overview that you act out of love, which would mean how can you have a positive impact on the people that you interact with today? What can you do today to make their lives better than when they first encountered you? Integrity is to make sure that you are consistent with who you are as a person and the actions that you do. If you're like most people, you want to have a positive influence on others, but your actions are inconsistent because you have been influenced by a transactional spirit, and that misalignment over long periods of time can create disillusionment, burnout, and a whole bunch of other bad things. The key is you need to know who you are first and what your eternal vision is before you can. You need your eternal vision. An eternal vision would be something that is timeless, universal, eternal. In other words, it's unchanging, and that becomes your solid foundation that you anchor your identity to and your actions to. So you actually know what. So you actually have something that you can be consistent to. Because if you don't, you're just gonna justify your actions based on self-interest. Generosity and gratitude is be generous with your time, resources, attention to people, and have gratitude daily for what you have instead of what you don't have. Humble service would be how you view the other person as someone that you can learn from. You want to give them the best experience possible, and then you go into every interaction with that attitude. And transformative excellence and efficiency is, well, that is essentially having a growth mindset where you want to be the best that you can possibly be at whatever it is that you do, and then you need to do it in the most efficient way possible by systematizing different things so that you can do everything that you want to do to the best of your ability in less time. And that's essentially what the L.I.G.H.T framework stands for. Now, the practical application of this would be, first, you need to cast an eternal vision and create your long-term goals based on the influence that you want to have. That's your North Star and your solid foundation. The next is to do an activity which Jordan Peterson created called future anchoring, which is basically you write down and daydream and do a bit of free writing and free speaking to come up with an idea on the person that you can become in 3 years. If everything goes well, then you take action and you do the things that you know you need to do, and then to do the opposite of what things can go wrong if you don't do all of this and create a negative scenario in 3 years. Now, the reason why we have this as step 2 is, you know, we hear in Genesis, for example, be, do, have, where we have to focus on be first, who you can become. But the reality is that often setting yourself a vision of who you can become that's too much long term, it's kind of hard to put it. It's kind of hard to put something that's, you know, eternal right down into what it is now, and that's where you can kind of lose focus. However, coming up with something that can be in 3 years is very achievable. It's something to it's something to set your aim at, and that's why we put that second. You come up with your identity of who you can become in a 3-year time frame, because that's something that's within reach that you can aim for, and then we bring that 3-year person that you can become down into meaningful goals that align with L.I.G.H.T, which would be a 1-year goal, a 90-day goal, a monthly goal, weekly goal, daily goal. Then we identify the weekly and daily L.I.G.H.T aligned actions that move you towards your goal, and then we have metrics to track them, and this would be focused on L.I.G.H.T aligned would be focusing on the influence and impact that you have over the revenue that you're going to make. And if you focus on how many people that you're going to have a positive influence on, it's extremely likely that you're going to have everything else as a byproduct. By focusing on having a positive influence on people, you're going to increase your revenue and sales as a byproduct of having a positive influence. And that's why we do it this way. And then step 5 is you then go and create a positive impact daily and set that as your target. And that's the L.I.G.H.T framework for meaningful growth, why I built it, and how everything fits together. So if anything in this video resonates with you, or you'd like to learn a little bit more about it, at the time of recording, which is Christmas 2025, just before Christmas, we are planning to launch a free version of this, completely free, no strings attached. The goal is for us to test and refine the framework, Kingdom Impact Lab. The lab is where we test and refine things, and we're looking for people that align with this framework and want us to basically help you apply it in your life. All you have to do is just let me know who you are and what you do, and we'll hop on a call and see if we resonate, or if I can help you, and most likely I can help you. And we'll go through this framework through a couple of calls. I'll give you some homework to do, and if you then come away with a plan that you can start taking action on, and you like it, and you find that you've had a transformation in the way that you view things and what you can do, all I ask in return is two super simple things. One would be a testimony or a reference, and the second is that you pay forward the generosity to someone in your business or in your circle, and let me know what you did. Our KPI and our target for this is we want to have 100 transformation stories, and at the moment, well, the only person that this framework has worked on, if I'm being fully transparent, because it's something I've invented, is myself, and it's not right for me to charge for it just yet. So if anyone's interested in hearing more and becoming one of our pre-founders version, get in touch with me at sam@kingdomimpactlab.com. That's all. See you in the next video.